Hello, First Christian Church, Wasion. As I record this, there are several things that are happening in our life here at First Christian Church. I just talked to you about the season. We are a week and a half away from Thanksgiving. We are in the process of working to build leadership for the coming year. Today is the day where folks in the church will offer their giving promises, how they will financially support the ministry of the church in 2025. It is, at the same time, a blessing to be able to come to you and offer you this message for free. And whether you are an official part of First Christian Church or you just happen to find this message as you are looking for content on YouTube, I'm grateful to be able to share these few moments with you as we explore the scriptures together in this season. We are at the end of chapter 10 in Mark's Gospel as we prepare to enter the Thanksgiving and then Advent and Christmas seasons in the life of the church. But this day, this story, it's interesting depending on which version of Jesus' life you read. It depends on who it is that encounters Jesus in the last conversation and the last miracle before he enters Jerusalem and Holy Week begins. In Luke 19, we read the story about the wee little man, Zacchaeus, who climbed up in the sycamore tree, and Jesus invited himself to Zacchaeus' house for supper. Well, in Mark's story, there is a man named Bart. There is a man named Bartimaeus, who happens to be blind and who cries out for mercy. And isn't have mercy just that fundamental, basic cry to God that we begin with when we know the depth of our need, when we are desperate for healing and transformation, when we are at the end of ourselves and we just can't take it anymore, and we know, we're wondering not just is God near, but is God real, and does God care? And he's calling out to Jesus. Let's read the story and then let's talk some more. They, that is Jesus and his disciples, they spent some time in Jericho. And as Jesus was leaving town, Jericho to Jerusalem, trailed by his disciples and a parade of people, a blind beggar by the name of Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, was sitting along the road. You know, that's not an explanation. That's a repetition of his name, Bartimaeus, son of, that's what the bar means. Anyway, when Bartimaeus heard that Jesus the Nazarene was passing by, he began to cry out, "Son of David, Jesus, mercy, have mercy on me." And many tried to hush him up. "Shut up, be quiet." But at every attempt to get him to shush, he yelled all the louder, "Son of David, mercy, have mercy on me." Jesus stopped in his tracks. "Call him over," he says. So they called him. "Hey, it's your lucky day. Get up. He's calling you to come." So throwing off his coat, he was on his feet at once and came to Jesus. And Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you? What can I do for you?" And the blind man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." "On your way," said Jesus. "Your faith has healed you and saved you." I should say that again. Your faith has saved and healed you. In that very instant, Bartimaeus recovered his sight and followed Jesus down the road. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Mercy, have mercy. The depth of the calling out. It doesn't even feel like a prayer. It feels more like a declaration of desperation. Have mercy on me. But the beauty in Bartimaeus' story begins with the fact that even when the rest of the world is trying to pretend like he doesn't exist, he's invisible, telling him to be quiet, to hush up, reminding him of how unimportant he is, Jesus hears, even as he is persistent and grows louder and louder. Mercy, have mercy on me. What do you want me to do for you? Rabbi, I want to see. I want to have a conversation with you today about the difference between sight and vision. Because there is a real way in which for Bartimaeus, yes, they went together, but in very different kinds of ways. And the evidence of the healing and the transformation that takes place in his life are the evidences of them. And then I want to invite all of us who are part of this, to challenge you as you're listening to me to consider in what ways has the answer to your call for specific, measurable healing or help been met with a greater sense of purpose, mission, direction, and empowerment in your life. When Jesus hears Bart calling out to him, there is faith even in the calling out, because he's identifying him in the calling out for mercy. Son of David, Jesus, have mercy. What do you want me to do for you? Imagine that for yourself. If Jesus showed up in your life as you were calling out for help and asked you that specific question, what do you want? How would you answer? How would you answer? Rabbi, I want to see. And he says, Jesus does, your faith has saved and healed you. And his sight was restored, recovered, given, gained. He could see with his eyes. But friends, I want you to see also how it wasn't just physical sight, because the sentence ends with, and followed Jesus down the road. His sight was restored and vision was granted. What is God's vision for your life? What is the vision for the future that you are longing for and hungry for? In what way can you embrace the purpose, mission, and vision of God for your life? We're in that season for the church at large, considering embracing, moving into the vision and mission of God for us. But a community vision is full of all of the individual visions and missions that make up the body. So even as we celebrate whatever restoration you may experience out of your faith, personal, spiritual, emotional, relational, physical, out of that transformation, what is the mission that God has for you moving forward? And then what community, where in community, can that vision and mission and purpose be brought to the common good? May we adventure and explore together. Amen.